If you go to Mohammadpur area, there is an area that is growing up as Bholapara. Why? There is severe erosion in Bhola and they are coming to a particular area. The people from Satkhira, Khulna, Bagerhat and Borguna, they are coming to Khulna and Jasor in search of a job, but all of them are climate change migrants. Intensity and frequency of natural disaster would increase and climate would behave in an erratic manner because our meteorological character had a very fixed characteristics. আষাঢ়ের 1 তারিখ বৃষ্টি হবে. In Buet, I used to teach hydrology, and with the students I used to have fun. Those who are from Borguna, there would definitely be rainfall on 15th May. Dhaka city would experience rainfall on 1st June. For Dinajpur, the rainfall will have to wait till 1st of May. Withdraw from Dinajpur end of July, beginning of August or middle of August. So we could forecast the dates. I remember when I was a student on Pohela Boishak, we used to have musical program in Ramna Park. Starting from the first program of Chayanot in 1967, Nurul Amin Bhai, you will definitely recall, I was present in the first program and continuously on Pohela Boishak. But we never stayed in Ramna Park after 3 p.m. By 4 p.m. we must come to our halls of our accommodation where we used to live, because by 5 there would be a Kal Boishakhi. And Kal Boishakhi was more or less fixed on Pohela Boishak or 2nd Boishak or 3rd Boishak. And it is strongly related with fish migration characteristics, strongly related to fish production. It's changing now. There is a flower which comes from the soil. It goes up, and a red flower with a ball-shaped one is called Mayflower. It is to bloom on 1st May or 2nd May. This year I specifically noticed it is blooming in March. So calendar is changing, and this is going to be a big issue. Point I'm trying to make is this erratic behavior of nature. Erratic behavior, I will show you in a few minutes what is changing in the seasonal pattern. There would be serious impact in biodiversity. And next month there will be global meeting of all the countries to talk about biodiversity. We do not understand in Bangladesh how important that is. When Mr. Macron, the French would pronounce his name as Mr. Bacho, but we pronounce his Macron, M-A-C-R, R is pronounced as Gho. When he came to Dhaka just 2 months back, he advised government of Bangladesh, pay attention to adaptation to climate change and pay attention to conservation of your biodiversity. We had about 7,000 varieties of rice, each suiting a particular soil condition and climatic condition. That would be our savior. We need 5 types of new crops. Existing varieties would not be good enough. We need flood tolerant, drought tolerant, salt tolerant, heat tolerant and shorter duration. We are pushing the agriculturists to come out with varieties that are shorter in duration without losing the taste. All of us, the rice we have in our home are mostly almond, and Aush is the shortest one. So we want almonds yield with Aush type of seed. That is why so much research is going on. And agriculturists, when they ask for research funding, government gives them free hand, find out a solution. Public health security is going to be threatened. I named the 4 districts, Satkhira, Khulna, Bagerhat and Borguna, the females' reproductive health in serious condition. In Shamnagar, I have checked myself and I have found for middle-aged women, the gynecologists, so-called gynecologists, they are quacks, are cutting out their uterus. Think of the serious condition in human mind, and process of sustainable development would be hampered, and least developed countries, small island developing countries and countries in Africa is not adequate. They were suffered the most. In ranking, which is the most affected country, at one time we were number 1. Now our number is number 8, because there would be at least 10-15 countries, they would vanish totally from the earth. Maldives, Kiribati, Marshall Island, whole island would go underwater. What would happen to Bangladesh? I'm coming to that. So whole world is pushing on a scientific process, IPCC, and as I said, all countries of the world have sent their experts, and also the commission picks up a lot of people on their own. Political process, now we have 3 laws, the UNFCCC 1992, still that is the guiding principle. Under that, Kyoto Protocol was produced to pressurize the developed countries, and now we are working on Paris Agreement. And initially we thought we should be able to control ecosystem at a rate. I mean, the way it is going up, if the rate is reduced, let me rephrase, what is likely to happen in next 100 years, if it had happened over 10,000 years, who cares? So as I said previously, there was 7 peaks and 7 troughs. That's not going to happen. And they talked about food grain, and they talked about sustainable development. It has now been changed, the objective of the Paris Agreement, to ensure food security. Of course, in Bangladesh, we are more worried about intensity and frequency of natural disaster. And I gave you examples. Last year, monsoon was very weak. And you see, in the peak of monsoon, Bangladesh had to pump groundwater for irrigation. Luckily, this year, when you needed irrigation, we had rainfall, and the groundwater level was high. Otherwise, at this time of the year, the whole country would have been singing, Allah Megh De Pyar De.